First, let's discuss what a statement or proposition. So statement or proposition, of course, just like what we have a while ago, is a sentence. So it must express a complete thought. Take note, it must be a declarative statement or a declarative sentence with a definite meaning, having a truth value that is true or false, but not both. Okay? So hindi siya pwedeng tinatawag nating paradox. May tinatawag na paradox na it is both true at the same time false. So a proposition usually is denoted by variables like P, Q, R, or yeah. So lahat we usually denoted by these variables P, Q, R, and so on. Example. So we say that ano bang example na pwede natin? We can say that it is raining, right? So the statement it is raining is a statement, of course, because it's either true or false, but not both, and it's a declarative statement, right? So is it raining? How about the statement, is it raining? Is it a statement or a proposition?
Proposition.
Hello? Hmm?
Proposition.
Mali. Pag yung it is raining, it's a statement kasi declarative statement na siya. Pag sinabi kong is it raining, hindi na siya declarative statement, so hindi na rin siya statement. O hindi na siya proposition. Malinaw? So dapat declarative. Ano yung mga declarative? So kapag nag-i-end sa exclamation point, ang tawag natin dyan ay tawag sa anong sentence again sa exclamation point? Yung mga pasigaw, yung mga ganon. We call that wala. Naku po, good luck sa English natin. So, yung mga nag-end sa exclamation point, we call it exclamatory sentences, right? Yung mga nag-end sa question mark, we call it interrogatory. Pati ako nabulol. Okay. Interrogative sentence. Okay. And then kapag yung mga may please hand me your cell phone, for example. Diba, hindi rin siya statement. It's another way of sentence. So dapat walang yung mga ganon. Diba? It should be a statement lang. A declarative statement. Okay? Malinaw po ba?
Opo.
Yes. Okay, next. We have what we call logical connectives that we will be using. We have the conjunction or the name end. Ito, bumasok na naman si end. So notice, end is similar to intersection. So dun sa set operation natin, si end ay ginagamit din siya for logical connectives that means conjunction. We use a symbol, this one, yung parang going up. And then disjunction, the word or. Disjunction, you also have to just combine. Parang ganun din ang mangyari dito sa disjunction. With the union notation natin dun sa set operation. Ito yung symbol, parang going down. Implication, it's the if and then statement. So we have the symbol arrow to the right. By conditional, we have the if and only if statement. We have the two arrow heads. And the negation, we usually use the word not. And sometimes you use this or pwedeng yung parang curly hyphen, they use that as not also. Okay. I don't know if you were able to have this or na experience na yung pag-identify ng truth values or truth tables. But you can actually use this to identify the truth values. So kapag meron tayong dalawang statement P and Q, P at saka Q, if you use the logical connectives, this will be their truth values. Kunwari, if P, siyempre, is true and then Q is true, if you use the conjunction, you will have true. Same thing with this. All of them will be true. Notice kapag may false, notice if at least one is false, notice sa conjunction, the truth value becomes false. dapat pares lang sila maging false para maging false yung conjunction statement. Si disjunction naman, kapag both false lang nagiging false. If at least one is true, then the disjunction is a true statement. Can you follow? Sa implication naman, notice nagiging false lang yung implication if ang tawag natin dito sa implication, itong unang statement, we call this the premise, and then yung isa, yung second statement, we call it the conclusion. So if the conclusion happens to be false, notice, okay, and the premise is true, we have a false statement. Notice nagiging true yung implication if we have a false implies false. It's still a true statement. Okay? So if and only if statement naman, nagiging true yung if and only if statement if we have the same truth value for each of the ang tawag nito, yung premise and yung conclusion statements. Malinaw po ito? Hello?
Yes po.
Nakikinig po ba? Okay. Dito tayo sa implication kasi ito usually na nagagamit, si implication. Si implication, we have four tawag nito, tawag niyan. May apat tayong iba't ibang way on how we can write yung implication. So the first one is the normal conditional statement. Okay, P implies Q. Okay, pag pinagpalit natin yung premise at saka yung conclusion, Q implies P na, we call it the converse. So if we get the converse of the conditional statement, P implies Q, we have Q implies P. Malinaw? Okay, the inverse naman, pag sinabing inverse of the conditional statement P implies Q, it will be the not P implies not Q. Okay? And then the contrapositive is not Q implies not P. Okay? Example tayo ng mga ganito. Let's have so may example natin ng mga ganyan na pwede nating and guys, trying to find where is my example on that. Okay, so wala ata. Let's move into the others. Okay, it's somewhere here. Okay, let's have this. Guys, let me end this presentation. Let me present you with the other. Sa kabila pa lang this one. Wait lang. Okay, here. Let's have these examples. Okay, itong mga statement na to, let's start with this first one. Okay. So the statement, if Neil is not a big eater or Len has a big voice, then Jerry likes Violet. So we can actually parang hihimayin natin yung statement na to into sub or into propositions, okay, into statements. So notice I can start with Neil is a big eater. Okay, notice I denote Neil is a big eater as N, and then I denote L to be Lena has a big voice, and then I also denote J to be Jerry likes Violet. So with this, I can rewrite this statement here into symbol by writing it in this manner. Since I have if statement, we have an if and then statement. So I have an arrow here. Nakuha ba yun, guys? So
Yes.
may arrow tayo dito kasi may if and then statement tayo. Notice, itong buong ito yung magiging premise ng if and then statement natin. Ito naman yung magiging conclusion. That's why notice we have an arrow pointing to J. Notice my premise here is also a conjunction, or rather a disjunction, right? So I have to get a disjunction between these two sentences or these two statements. But notice this first statement, nilagyan ng not. So notice I place a negative there. So not N means Neil is not a big eater. And then or, so I use the disjunction symbol, and then Len has a big voice, so I have L to be the Lena has a big voice. Nakuha yung ating pagpapalit ng symbol.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's look into the second statement. A man should look for what he is and not for what he thinks should be. Okay? So notice, hinati ulit sa dalawa. So first is, a man should look for what he is. Ginawa niyang P. Okay? And then the other one, a man should look for look for what he thinks should be. Okay? So that would be the second statement. Okay? So notice, since that we have an end here, so it implies we are to get a conjunction statement. And then the first statement is just as is, so I just copied P. And then notice the second statement, ginawa niyang not. So nagkaroon ng negation dun sa Q. And then we have here. Okay, question?
Sir, ako po, may question.
Yes, go ahead.
Bakit po sir nasa taas po yung conjunction po? Yung symbol po ng conjunction.
What do you mean nasa taas?
Yung letter P po sir, nasa taas po yung conjunction po na symbol.
Actually, pag sinulat kasi dito, ang ginamit na symbol dito ay yung parang sa yung shift 6, kaya nagmukha siyang nasa taas. Okay? So, as is lang na symbol yon, walang problema yon, naisulat lang sa nakataas lang ng konti. Okay, did I answer your question, Mark?
Yes po sir.
Okay, may tanong pa po ba? Okay, let's have the next one kung walang tanong. Ano nga ba? Are you sure, guys? Okay, ito naman. Let's have this if and then statement, okay? So, the product of two integers is an even integer. So notice, I can rewrite this is, if two odd integers are multiplied, then the product is an integer, even if this is of course false. Okay? Also, if I have the statement, every integer that is not odd is divisible by 2. So I can also write this as an if and then statement. Now, if an integer is not odd, okay, then it is divisible by 2. Okay. And also a statement, a function has an inverse if it is one-to-one statement, or if a one-to-one. We can say that a function has an inverse or is one-to-one, then it is, or then it has an inverse. Or pwede ring, a function has an inverse, or if a function has an inverse, then it is one-to-one. Okay? Malinaw po ba? So I just wrote these statements into if and then statements. Now, ito yung sinasabi natin na, how are you going to, tawag nito, convert a statement into yung tinatawag nating converse, inverse, and then contrapositive. So let's start with this statement. Ito, napakagandang example nito. Okay, look at this. So the first statement is, or the implication statement is, or conditional statement is, if you are more than 60 years old, then you are entitled to a senior citizen's card. So if You are more than 60 years old, so yun yung P. You are more than 60 years old, that would be P. And then yung Q natin ay you are entitled to a senior citizen's card. Okay? Malinaw? So, to write it as a converse, so papalitin natin yung Q at saka P. So, if you are entitled to a senior citizen's card, then you are more than 60 years old. So, para pinagpalit lang natin yung P at saka Q. Nakuha?
Opo.
Okay. Inverse naman, you will negate yung premise and then you will just negate yung ating conclusion. So yung premise natin na you are more than 60 years old, ginawa lang yung if you are not more than 60 years old, then you are not entitled to a senior citizen's card. So ginawa lang nila ng negative yung conclusion. Malinaw?
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Okay. Si contrapositive, ninegate niya na tapos pinagbaliktad niya pa. Okay? So, ninegate niya yung, yung conclusion na ginawa na niya ngayong premise. So, if you are not entitled to a senior citizen's card, then you are not more than 60 years old. So, ganun natin sa isusulat yung ating tatlong, or rather 4 ways on how we can write yung ating if and then statement. But guys, let me just be cautious on this. Itong 4 na to ay hindi necessary magkakaparehas na statements. Okay? Ang magkakaparehas lang na statement dyan actually, in terms of truth table, wait lang guys, wait lang. Okay, so as I was saying guys, so tandaan na itong 4 na to, yung conditional, yung converse, yung inverse sa contrapositive ay hindi necessarily na para-parehas yung statements na to. Ang same truth table lang dito ay yung conditional and then yung contrapositive. Inverse and then converse are 2 different conditional statements. Okay? Or if and then statements. Ang magkaparehas na truth table dito is yung contrapositive lang and yung ating conditional statement. Malinaw? Malinaw po ba?
Opo.
Okay. Let's continue. Okay pa ba kayo? Oras na ba? Alas 4 na rin pala. Hanggang anong oras ba tayo dapat? Until 4:30, right? Okay pa ba kayo? O you want i-end muna natin and then let's just continue with this next meeting? O kaya nyo pa?
Di na po ata, sir.
Hindi na, sir.
Bilis akong bumigay. Ano ba yan? Parang ikaw yung kilala ko. Bigla na lang akong iniwan agad-agad.
Yun.
Oh! At sakit nun!
Pag mga kalukuhan talaga, ang bilis-bilis sumagot. Kanina, is it understood? Yes lang, ay kasimple-simpleng yes, ayaw magsisagot. Mga buwaka ng inang to. Pag kalukuhan, ang bibilis mga magsisagot. Anyway.
Nahimik tuloy si Earl.
Nahimik tuloy si Earl. Sige na Earl, magsalita ka na. Okay lang, hindi na kita babarahin. Promise.
Di sir, nababalo na ako dito.
Wag.
Dapat talaga experience na to, sir. Nababalo na daw si Earl.
Buwa ka ng seat mo, Earl.
Logic pa naman to. Anyway, so let's end the recording first, guys. Naka-record po pala tayo. Email nyo.
Lagot ka, sir.
Lagot ka, Earl.
Sir, na-record yun, sir.
Oo naman, na-record
May
talaga yun.
resibo po.
Yes. Okay, so end po muna recording, guys.